Hello everybody.
Hi.
We just wanted to quick do a video. We just finished up our 5-day fast. Good job.
Good job.
So, a couple things about our journeys individually. For me, it went, I think, as expected. The first couple days feel a little bit longer for me. It takes me a little bit while to get my ketones up and my glucose stabilized, but by, I'd say, middle of day 2 into day 3, I was starting to feel pretty good. And then from there, like the rest of day 3, day 4, day 5, things continue to improve for me in terms of energy, clarity, getting a lot of stuff done. And my ketones started out about 1.5, got up to about 2, and then for days like 3.5, 4 into 5, they pretty well stayed around 4.5. And my glucose stayed somewhere between like 76, I'd say, and or like 68 to 76, somewhere in there. I had a few spikes in like the mid 5, 5.5, 5.4, and a couple lows on the blood sugar, but I wouldn't have known. I only saw it because I tested it. It didn't feel any different. I felt really good for sure for end of day 3, 4, and 5. How about for you?
You were on fire. Last night I kind of hit a wall, and Jason hit the moon. He was like, I had bought him a book. He like read through more than half of his book. He created a brochure. He started to create a website. He was like on fire last night and today. His day 4 and day 5. I did really well. The longest I had ever gone previously was like 44 or 48 hours, and that was hard for me. So I really geared up for this. I think what was key for me was in my mind, I mimicked like my mental state for training for a marathon or a triathlon. So when I used to train for those, I would put myself in uncomfortable situations that may occur on the day of the event. Like if it were raining out, I would run in the rain, things like that. So that if it rained on the day of the marathon, it wasn't like new and uncomfortable. So working up to the fast, I really paid attention to these uncomfortable situations that were going to arise and saw what I would do through them. So for instance, like after a long day in office Monday, which is usually my 24-hour fast, I really look forward to dinner. It's a bit of like a struggle for me Monday nights when I come home because the kids haven't seen me all day. I'm hungry. I haven't been with them all day, so I don't know like what they've dealt with. I'm kind of handling different emotions, sometimes fights. So I really paid attention to like Monday night, what I was going to do to get through. And so I just did like snuggling, couch time with them to get myself out of the kitchen. And just thought about stuff like that. My intention as I went in was to do it without coffee. I actually ended up having coffee most days, which I made a decision to do and I was fine with. I did like that I weaned myself off coffee leading up. I thought that was really good. The thing that surprised me the most was I was not hungry. Like, I felt like I really could have kept going. I didn't have like a single hunger pain. The hardest part for me was we had 2 nights out in New York City. We love to go out to eat together. We were without the kids, and it's like really a treat for both of us, I think, especially for me to not be like sharing my plate with all of them. So that was really hard, just like the habit around food and like our special time that we have when we go out to eat and just like hang out and catch up.
I was saying last night that like it wasn't even that I was hungry or that I wanted to eat necessarily. I just missed the like the rituals around cooking and the rituals around sitting down and eating. So Friday night we were in the city. Friday night? I went to, we were with a group of people who had a nice dinner at STK, like a steakhouse. So I went because I wanted to be with them and talk with them, and, we had a bunch of things to catch up with. So I sat down through a beautiful steak dinner with...
Just go with it. Keep going.
Beautiful steak dinner with, with our friends, and, just drank some seltzer and kind of hung out. And, to me it was like one of those things that it was going to be like a mental challenge, but it wasn't so terrible. I got over it pretty quickly.
I did not go. I wasn't feeling strong enough to attend that. Oh, so one of the things we both experienced was we were like, no matter how much we drank, although you didn't drink a ton for a while, but I was definitely hydrating. We were so dry.
Yeah.
Like our mouths were so dry, and I know that happens to a lot of people. I think part of the reason is similar to like a dry fast, where your body will seek out anywhere that has fluid, which our fat cells have a ton of fluid, a ton of water in them, and it pulls from them. So it really, I mean, you're dropping fat, which is dropping a ton of fluid. So getting electrolytes in is big. I ended up putting some salt in my water. That helped a little bit. We did find some exogenous ketones that we were playing around with. We always do that in case we want to recommend stuff to you guys. On day 3 or 4 when we were working a vendor booth, that helped me immensely, definitely. But the dryness was a bit of a struggle for sure for me.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I didn't drink enough water for sure. That is something I just struggle with in general, is getting enough water in. So I was definitely also dry. My lips were a little bit chapped for like day 3 and 4, I think. We were talking a lot because we were at this conference where we were interacting with a lot of people. So
our hotel room was
our
super
hotel
dry.
room was very dry.
I got like I don't know, I like lost my voice and stuff, I think just separately, but that made it extra interesting.
Right. But overall, I felt like really good experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Feel great. Feel good. We just started eating a little bit earlier today. So you had some broth. I made some chili. We made a little bit of like a fat bread, like chip, so that we can kind of scoop some chili. What else did we have?
I think that's it so far, but we're probably gonna eat.
Oh, so like roasted Brussels sprouts, but yeah. So
those are so good.
We're we're gonna go for round 2 in a couple hours.
Yeah.
And.
So, some suggestions I would have for anyone going into a fast is schedule self-care if you can. So, for women, maybe, or well, for men too, maybe that means a massage. I got a manicure the other day, which was really nice. You could get, pedicure, facial, like just some downtime. Not that your energy is necessarily going to be really low or anything, but just something to take you away to like kill time. We were thinking about going to a movie. There wasn't anything good out, although that may smell a lot like popcorn for some of you if that's hard. And then I have loved our red bed through this process, the photobiomodulation therapy bed. The sauna is also a really good idea. I have a gift certificate to a sensory deprivation tank I had intended to use and just didn't get to. But definitely schedule that stuff in. If you have young kids, I would ask for support, especially around mealtime. I think that's really key just in getting through this, or meal prep so that you could just heat up their food so you don't have to spend a ton of time in the kitchen. But like we've said this whole time, when you're feeling ready for your fast, you've trained for your fast, go ahead, jump in, take it hour by hour, take it day by day, listen to your body. If you get sensations where you're hungry or you're craving food, give it some time, drink some water, see if it'll pass, and then reassess. Right?
Yep. Yeah, I think for most people, the sensation of hunger comes even at times that aren't necessarily meal times. So, I usually tell people like, okay, so you feel it, that's great, acknowledge that it's there, have a little bit of water. You could try some of the exogenous ketones during something like this if you want. If this is your first time doing it, so instead you'd rather try a little bit of some fat intake, like a fat coffee, or a shot of MCT oil or something, just to help you get through those times. Or if you just wait, usually about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it just passes, and the next thing you know, you're busy doing whatever you're doing and you forgot that you were supposed to be hungry in the first place. So yeah.
It was interesting. Like I said, I used coffee on this in like a little bit here and there. Day 4 and day 5, I couldn't even handle it. I couldn't stomach it. I feel like my body was so in tune. It didn't want anything like that in it. And now at the end, looking back, I just feel like we have done such an incredible detox for our body. We majorly promoted autophagy, so our body's ability to clean out any toxins, to increase our immune system, to kill off toxic cells. I'm so glad that we did this. I'm so glad that we trained. So leading up to it, we worked really hard so that it would feel good. And I'm definitely excited to do it again next season. All right.
Thanks for coming along.
Good job, guys. Let us know if you have questions.